Good evening. My name is Mariam Zohra D, and I am your host tonight for Surrey Muse, an interdisciplinary art and literature presentation group. Tonight, I'm really excited to introduce to you our featured artists. They will be featured author Nathan Adler, featured poet Franz, and featured performer Gunargie O'Sullivan. So let me just outline to you how Surrey Muse events go. Usually we have 20 minutes for the features, 3 features, and then we have an open mic opener who has about 10 minutes, and then we have the open mic lineup where each presenter has 3 to 5 minutes. Since March, we've taken our gatherings online and created these virtual shows. This is our 6th one, I believe. And I really want to thank all the presenters who, sent things in digital form so that we could continue gathering. So without much ado, I'd like to introduce to you our featured author. Nathan Adler is a writer, artist, and filmmaker who has published Wrist, a novel, and Ghost Lake, a collection of short fiction, both with Kegedon's Press. Ooh, not sure if I pronounced that right. Nathan is a first place winner of the Aboriginal Writing Challenge and the recipient of the Natchin Reveal Award for Literature. He has co-edited Bavajigan, Stories of Power, from Exile Editions. Again, please excuse any of my mispronunciations. And his work is published in various periodicals and anthologies, including Red Wire, Canada's History, Shteti, Kimewan, Shameless, Prairie Fire / CV2, and Event, and Food of My People, The Playground of Lost Toys, Those Who Make Us, Canadian Creature, Myth, and Monster Stories, Love Beyond Body, Space, and Time, and Love After the End, Two-Spirit Utopias and Dystopias. Nathan has an MFA in creative writing from UBC, a BFA in integrated media from OCAD, and a BA in English literature and native studies from Trent University. Nathan is Jewish and Anishinaabe, Two-Spirit, and a member of Lac des Mille Lacs First Nations. Let's hear from Nathan.
Uju ani Nathan Dishinkaz Nizatakang in Donjaba in Ma Orangeville, Ontario in Donjaba. Wabjeshin Dodem. Currently living on Coast Salish territories in Vancouver. I'm an artist and a writer and a filmmaker. And so I thought I'd start just by reading a poem, what I thought was a poem. I workshopped it in a class with Lee Marigold, and she's like, that's not a poem. And it's not, it's more like a monologue from characters' POV. I made a backing track. So the backing track has like audio that I lifted from a video of the largest mass calving event, which is when large chunks of ice melt and crash into the ocean. So I'll play the background track and I'll read the poem over top. I've been sleeping for so long. The world is a new place again. I feel young again. The world is an older place. I am older. Much, much, much older. Like I said, I've been sleeping for oh so long. It's enough to make one work up an appetite. Now that you mention it, I am famished. Just starving. Just ravished. And there are so many odd creatures running around. Hairless apes, how they have changed. Maybe you take the edge off. I am so hungry. They've had their fun, but now I'm back. There's never been a top predator such as I. I am the apex of evolution. Nature's perfect killing machine. And it's my turn now, like it was once. Ice ages come, and ice ages go. But now, the ice has melted. I'm free from my glacier, that prison. I've been sleeping for so long. And it's my turn again. Now, there's a new monster in town. So sometimes I'll make little, once I've recorded or wrote a poem or a monologue and then I've made a little backing track, sometimes I'll make visuals to go along with it and make little films so I could show those as well. I'll splice them in.
I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X.
I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X.
Gotta get that Jonia, his Jonia, Jonia. Gotta get that Jonia, Jonia, Jonia. Keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta get that Jonia, Jonia, Jonia. Gotta get that Jonia, Jonia, Jonia. Mark. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Mark. 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 Gotta get that Jonia, Jonia, Jonia. Gotta get that Jonia, Jonia, Jonia. Zohra is. I gotta get that Zohra. Zohra is. Zohra. Zohra is. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. Gotta keep those presses rolling. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X. I signed my treaty annuity payments with an X.
But I thought next I could read another one of those poem spoken word things with a backing track. What I usually do is I'll record a backing vocal track, and then I'll read the poem over top. So I'm just going to use my voice memo app on my phone. All right. That's okay, I'm so can. 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 All right, so that's my little backing vocal track. I guess I should probably say that the words I'm saying are the word for story and the word for monster, just on a loop. It's a little chant. That's okay, I'm so can. 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 That's okay, that's okay. That's okay, I'm so can. 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 At the power. That's okay, I'm so can. That's okay, I'm so can. That's okay, I'm so can. Wearing his bonnet. That's okay, I'm so can. Chief. That's okay, I'm so can. That's okay, I'm so can. We thought he was a monster. Numsokan, she called him. My sister Mary. Atsokan. Numsokan. Boogeyman. Is it? So this one is called Miigwech Nishomis. So I wrote it in Anishinaabe and also in English. So I can read I'll read the Anishinaabe language version first, and then I'll read the English version. So I made 2 separate audio tracks for that. So. Miigwech Nishomis. Your light shines on everything. Your light. Oh wait. Great grandfather Kinwate Kinagego Inate. Kinwate Kinabangis Nanajiskaganing Inate. Kinwate Kinawatikwane Kina Jingwakwandagin Inate. Kina Ashwasi Kina BCBWave Nituiganing Iana Nia Kisina Gojim Chikegaba Kinminwate Nigijid Nimishonis Apijid Go Nigichininda Mishibimadeze Nimishomis Nizagaton Kinminwate Odanginang Nishkate Nimishomis Ndami Kinojna Kinminwate Asa Chibose Nin Aninda Winawa Kwashkwasna Kwasa Tawin Misigendam Si Oh Nimishomis Gego Atawebisi Oh Nimishomis Skechigena Oh Nimishomis Kichinenda Mishibimadeze Oh Nimishomis Gego Paketina Sinin Ishkwaya Oh Nimishomis Niznakiton Kinwate Oh Nimishomis Oh Nimishomis Oh. So now what I'll do is I'll read the English language version of that same poem. Oh grandfather, oh grandfather, oh, oh grandfather, oh grandfather, oh, oh grandfather, oh grandfather, oh, oh grandfather, oh grandfather, oh. Show me. Your light shines on everything. Your light shines on every bit of scrub brush. Your light shines on every tree branch, every pine needle, every blade of grass, every fine hair that grows on my body. It's cold out, but your light warms me. Oh grandfather, I really like being alive. Oh grandfather, I love to feel your light on my skin. Oh grandfather, I can feel your photons penetrate me. Some of them bounce away harmless, others bounce away greedily. Oh grandfather, don't let your light stop. Oh grandfather, I want to live forever. Oh grandfather, is that possible? Oh grandfather, I like being alive. Oh grandfather, don't let me die. Oh grandfather, oh. So that's my Miigwech Nishomis poem. What should I read next? Okay, so next I thought I would read something from an anthology. I have a short story in the anthology. It's called Love After the End, and it's edited by Joshua Whitehead. So I wrote this. It's a science fiction, two-spirit, sci-fi, fantasy, speculative fiction anthology. Mostly sci-fi. So I wrote this story about, well, you'll see. So I don't have a physical copy of it yet, so I'm just going to read it off the screen here. Okay. Do you know what your name means? Aoife brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. Diane's mother was standing at the edge of his bed, staring out the porthole. A swirl of stars outside his bedroom window, smears of light streaking like shooting stars. An antique book made of real paper rested on Diane's chest. Nanabojo stories. The rotation of the space station Marius simulated gravity in the low G's of their orbit. Smears of light repeatedly interrupted by the looming presence of Io's volcanic surface. The hulking mass of Jupiter, Jupiter's smaller moons, Callisto, Europa, and Ganymede flitting across the molded curve of the wall like sprites. Satellite of a satellite of a satellite. The space station Marius wasn't actually on Io's surface. Too much volcanic activity, the surface compressing and decompressing like a squash ball in the tide of forces, not to mention the radiation. Diane is an Ojibwe word, short for Ndian. It means my home. We named you this because it wasn't until you were born that Io began to feel like home, a home away from home. For Diane, Io had always been home, but maybe home lost all meaning when Earth was supposed to be home. Though he never stepped foot on that world, his parents both worked in the organic tech industry. A lucky, spoiled space brat his cousin is at tease from Earth when they VR'd across the distance. Distances meant very little in virtual space. Diane wasn't so sure about his fortune, though. He thought they were the lucky ones. The Earth is her mother, Eva whispered. She folded the hair across his temple, kissed his forehead, then turned to the door. She touched palm to sensor to dim the lights, then stepped out of his room, leaving only the blue glow from the track lighting around his window. He had a habit of staring out at space from every nearest viewport, searching for a glimpse of Earth, no brighter than a star, a distant blue orb, the stuff of imagination and hollow series. Though his earthbound relations dreamed of the venture of space living, Diane dreamed of being an earthling one day. He imagined the vastness of the ocean, a real blue sky overhead, wind, rain, snow, so many things he'd never experienced. If the Earth is her mother, and the moon is her grandmother, what does that make Io? What does that make Jupiter? Eva paused in the doorway. Relatives, too. Aunties, uncles, cousins. They've always watched over us, just like the Bickies, just like Nokomis. Thanks for listening to my reading Bama P. Bugman.
I'd like to introduce to you our featured poet now. Featured poet Franz, who is a writer as well, a performer and arts community advocate. She organizes poetry events and writing workshops through Kwantlen Poetry Project. She is the president and co-founder of Melanin, KPU's BIPOC Writers Collective, and a member and co-founder of Muzza Arts Collective. Franz is a trained yoga instructor who facilitates workshops on writing and performance, and she hopes to one day combine elements of all three to teach self-awareness and discovery. Franz has her BA in creative writing from Kwantlen Polytechnic University. She wants shamelessly to take up space as a South Asian female creator, to help other marginalized voices to feel comfortable doing the same. She is a settler creating on the unceded traditional lands of the Kwantlen, Kadsi, Twasin, Kwikletlam, Stolo, Musqueam, Smamahu, Twasin, and Kekat people, colonially known as Surrey, North Delta, in BC, And in her work, she strives to foster safe spaces where communities can thrive and where art can help heal and sprout growth. Let's hear from Franz.
Hi, Surrey Muse. Thank you for having me. My name is Franz the poet. I am joining you this evening, today, wherever you're watching this recording, from the unceded Indigenous territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam peoples. Also acknowledging that I live and create on Kwantlen, Katzie, Stolo, Musqueam, Tawasin, Semiahmoo, Coquitlam, and Kaikwet Nation territories. Just starting all my sets with that, just to acknowledge my place here on these unceded territories. I'm not supposed to be here. My parents are from India, from Goa, and yeah, I am here, and as a poet, it's important for me to acknowledge the land and how I'm a part of the colonization and how I work through my art to decolonize both my practice and the way I live. So with that, I think I'll just start with the first poem. And this one, let's hold it. Just put this one. Okay. The first one is called Without the Silver Spoon. If my mother never left her mother, I couldn't wear short skirts in the summer. My mom says man's hands crept to bums on crowded trains, sweat in the Bombay sun. My mom says sometimes there'll be moments where I won't be able to speak my mind. I tell her, that's crap. There have been days I've stretched in public, almost nude. Halloween and music festivals, my excuse to show the world I'm not a prude. I excuse my mans from high school for manhandling me in hallways. My parents think I'm rude because I refuse to lie about my opinion. A teacher from high school said the same because my shirt was never tucked in. I had to collect bags of garbage during my lunch break. Somewhere out there, another version of myself is getting hit with sticks by a Catholic school nun in the Mumbai sun. I'm told to write lines over and over. I will obey, I will obey. Obey, says my sweater, and my dad makes a joke about the fourth commandment. I demand his silence. No version of me is able to hold my tongue. I went away with these daddy issues. He issues childish jests to show me he loves me. My mom misuses a vow to replace love. The word annoying slips past my teeth, sharp pins in my mother's heart. They say I'm grumpy. I never smile on family vacations. How can I reconcile the parts of him in me she hates? I am the Franz energy to her distaste. I will break my mother's heart 1,000 times over. I'm inked. Thanks. That's the first one. I have these chapbooks that I made last summer. I still have a few copies kicking around. If you like the poetry by the end of this set and you want to have some, you can follow me on Instagram, Franz_poet, or you can hit me up on my website, franzthepoet.com. Hit me up in my DMs, and I can get you a copy. I've been mailing them out, sliding scale, pay what you can, but generally around $16, and I'll mail it to you. So this next one, I think is one of my favorites right now, but it's called Bear. And you'll notice kind of like a theme of me talking about how awful my experience in Catholic school was. So here's another one about that. Cross-legged on a Catholic classroom carpet, my tunic doesn't hide whole thighs. In springtime, socks knee-high. I was 8 or 9 when I begged my mom to let me take razor blades to smooth my legs. She told me waxing is the better way, said the hair eventually won't grow as thick. I screamed the first time she wrapped the melted honey, a wooden stick across my leg, sticky, not sweet, promises of beauty, of boys not teasing with names. They won't point at the black grass that sprouts beside scabs on knees. Tears in my eyes, my garden goodbye. Root follicles cling to white strips. When I turn 17, I scream as fingertips explore my foliage under the gray and red striped kilt. A razor blade convert to save time. You should shave all the way, he says in a text. It's so weird to do a recorded set when there's not really an audience. I have a little audience, so it's kind of cool. Thank you for being my audience. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm just imagining you are sitting at whatever screen you're at, but if not, oh well. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for having me, Surrey Muse. Thanks to all the other wonderful artists I get to share this virtual stage with. I'm glad that events are still going, even though it's still kind of weird to perform like this. This next one is called Suppressed. Boys aren't being nice when they let you walk first upstairs. It's only to see under your skirts, said my grade 8 religion class teacher as she sat, legs crossed, on a desk in front of the class, her own preaching between verses of the Old Testament. Rows of girls learnt to knit. Our kilts couldn't be over 3 inches above the knee, measured by a ruler when kneeling. Always trying to rule our bodies, forced to watch the silent scream, believed they told me sex is sin. I ate the bread, went back for more. I just wanted to connect. I just wanted to hold beads of my mother's rosary like they fit in my palm, sing psalms like my voice in tuned, grew attuned to their guise. What are lies when you believe them, mother? A hug here may mean nothing. We don't make each other proud. Disconnected when you snooped, saw sexuality on my phone. I lead boys to bedrooms not to be nice. Let them see what's under my skirt. I eat body, come back for more. Scream in the silence, rows of stitches, knit blanket from his mother, 3 times 3 inches. I kneel. Thank you. This next one I'm doing is inspired by a poet that has deeply inspired me since last October when I was blessed enough to do one of their workshops. So this one's after the Be Young Anita Frika. She's amazing, an amazing dub poet. So the original poem is called A Dub Poet Once Said. This poem is called A Poet Once Said, and each of the stanzas in this poem take the first line from her poem. So it goes like this. I own nothing. Even time is borrowed. My name, a mask to spit in. I am the accumulation of all my memories combined with how the world sees sun in my skin. In order to nurture creation, turn back to nature, to the self, to inspiration in roots. When I speak, the ancestors move through me. Art is the conversation I have with myself in the mirror when I say, keep going, breathe slow. Leadership aims at chances to make steps with momentum. The aim of mentorship is to keep fires burning, to teach the young to raise voices. Dare to live, even though it's terrifying, even though there's a way out. Paying close attention to how the self radiates, to birds playing in the bath gutter, to birds playing bath in the gutter. Breathe fully, let go of shaming. The past lessons must be learned. I am who I am. I am enough. I will be okay. I am okay. Blooms, seasonal. The winter will pass. On a similar theme, this next one's called I Try to Write a Love Poem. To the younger me, a list of apologies for all the lessons learnt by dropping restaurant plates, by slamming on the brakes too late. I tried to write myself a love poem. I looked in the mirror without flinching, ran hands along curves, said sorry for lessons etched into the skin. Let naked be. Didn't say sorry for the sins. Didn't say sorry for the way I love. Guts knotted, tangles to be snapped, unraveled, sweaty fingers, body, moves. I tried to write a love poem to myself. Instead, I fell in love with the way this brown form moves through the world. Still, I wrapped seeds, my mistakes cradled into the earth. My tears, a sun for living a new day. I read out loud this voice, lullaby, rocking security. This is all I need to be. Got 3 more left for you. A few short ones. The last one's a little special, but we'll get there at the end. So this one is called No More Pipe Dreams, and I wrote it for my sister. Dear sister, do not hang your dreams on pipes. In the winter when the water freezes, they too with it. The flow will slow and halt, shrivel and decay. The summer will find a burnout, metal too hot, steam clouding, can't see past the smog, past the fog, the lies you tell yourself of being. Let your dreams be sticky, sweet sap, unbark clinging to life, grow, transform into leaf, detach from branches of what should be. Blown, breezy, the winds will take you sky high to the clouds where you need to be. Follow cycles of natural morphing, your energy feeding the next project complete. This next one is called Colored TV. When I dream, it's usually of white people, which is to say my mind replicates what I see on screens. I watch too much Netflix. Bend It Like Beckham is a movie about a female soccer player, except it's set in the UK and they call it football. The main girl's skin is brown. At 6, I tried to relate to her. Watch the movie over and over. I was supposed to relate to her, I was told. Jess's family is Sikh. My family is Catholic. I've never worn a sari. My mother told me, get a degree before a boyfriend. She can't make handmade roti, can't pass that skill to me. At 6, dreamt it easier to be Keira Knightley. At 6, couldn't recall my likeness from memory. A poet told me she won't let white boys colonize her pussy. Most nights my pussy feels commonwealth. It's common to lose the wealth of the self. Don't stare at images in magazines. It's common for boys on Tinder to call brown skin exotic. I get sick, stick up. They insist it a compliment. I drop the ball so much it's hard to keep score. I ball so much to keep score of brown girls on screens that feel like me. Where is my representation on TV? Ooh, I guess we're almost at the end. I got one more for you. This one is like not a new one, but it feels new because it's the first time I'm doing it with some musical accompaniment. Thank you for accompanying me with your music. So
no problem.
We're going to do this one and we'll see how it goes. I really love like collaboration of different mediums and like bringing things together. So like this is a treat for me and I hope to do more of it soon. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brain is a pain. My brain can't sustain the serotonin to be okay with waking up. Each morning, I wake up with a pain between my shoulder blade and rib cage. I've learned to be okay. High functioning, I function high, and I don't know if I'm okay with it. I've learned to be okay with the way my pain bleeds into poetry. Can we write verses meaningful without ripping our hearts open? Show the world our insides. I'm tired of bleeding on the page. Can we use these words, threads, to stitch back whole, back together? My dreams are past the sky. I'm not okay with 9 to 5. I'm not okay with windswept umbrellas being the closest version of flight. I'm not okay with listening as trees fall, as wishes fall, when we're all around to hear it. The windshield wipers are on high. I want to dive into puddles and create waves. And that's it from me. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Again, thank you to Surrey Muse. Thank you for the rest of the artists for joining me on the stage. Thank you for Bryn for playing the piano. And that's it.
Now for our last featured presenter, our featured performer, Gnargi O'Sullivan, who is a radio host, media producer, actress, and an arts organizer, who was chosen in 2018 as the radio legend by National Campus and Community Radio Association. In 2015, Gunargie taught at the first women's media camp in Denman Island and Comox, BC, where she also hosted a 2-year live national broadcast from the Walking with Our Sisters exhibit, presented by the Comox band. She also developed a national radio series called Resonating Reconciliation for Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission that resulted in 26 half-hour documentaries airing nationally on stations across the country. Gunargie envisioned and produced Red Jam Slam to raise the profile of Aboriginal music in Canada through live performances and live local and national broadcasts. Serving on the CFRO board, she produced both news and artistic videos for community access television and other outlets. Gnargi paints, writes, and she is mom to Nimkish, Young Ing, and Isabell O'Sullivan, and wife to Gary Oliver. Please welcome her.
The opt-out deadline, which is August 20th, 2007, claim forms will be available for former students, and then payments to those who submit valid claim forms can begin. There's a chance that if too many people opt out, the settlement will not be implemented and no payments will ever be issued. Who is covered by the settlement? There are approximately 80,000 living Aboriginal former students of residential school systems. Now, how do I know if I'm part of this settlement? The settlement includes former students of recognized residential schools in Canada and their family members. This includes Aboriginal people from First Nations, Inuit, Inuvialuit, Métis communities, those who resided at the schools, and member families, including grandparents and grandchildren of former students, are all included in the settlement, but may be eligible for different benefits. Are day students part of the settlement? In other words, where...
Hi, Auntie.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, not bad.
I love you.
I love you too.
Hey, Auntie, can you tell me a little bit about my mom?
Oh, I knew lots about your mom.
Yeah.
It would be an endless story
Yeah.
if I ever tell you.
How about your mom?
My mom?
My grandma. My grandma.
Oh, I don't even remember. I was too young. She was deceased.
Mm-hmm.
But I always knew. I only remember the bad times. No good times.
Here, please. Please. I need to talk to you. Okay, just come here. Okay, just come here. Come here. I got something I need to tell you. I just wanted to tell you something. Please. 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 Please just come here for 1 minute. 1 minute, that's all I'm asking. Here, damn it. Forgive me, my girl. I'm so sorry. Don't do that to yourself, please. No, forgive me. Please forgive me.
And you are a very special girl to me. I'm so proud of you.
It's what we haven't said about the residential school that we have to live with. It's the things we don't talk about that hurt the most. I've heard a lot of stories. Even the things we hear are horrific. Hard to hear. Hard to live with. All the stories in the world won't make the pain go away, but the laughter will. It's the culture that will help us to survive. It's the culture that will help us to rise above. It's the language lost that needs to be returned. It's the death, the dying, the grief that needs to be buried. Not deep down inside, not deep down inside, but buried in the past, left there, behind, so we can move forward as a people.
Through that door, close that door forever. Through that door, and close that door forever. Through that door, and close that door forever. Through that door, and close that door forever.
Oh God, let me give my life.
Sorry.
Oh my God, Mom.
Mr. Speaker, I stand before you today to offer an apology to former students of Indian residential schools. The treatment of children in Indian residential schools is a sad chapter
Oh my god! I want the second floor, second window. So that's where I was. Oh! It's about you and me doing it together for generations. It did it! I did it for me and I did it for my mom.
What did you think of all this?
Well, I thought it was sad. Had to see the building and to try and understand what it was all about and to remember and not to be able to remember all at the same time. That building embodies a lot of memories for people. Some of it they can't remember. Their bodies won't allow them to.
Do you think it should have stayed, or do you think you liked it gone?
Well, I think I have mixed feelings about it because that building is a reminder of the history that the government put upon our people.
That's sort of what I think too. Like, I have mixed feelings. I sort of like it because it's gone, and that's sort of like saying goodbye to all of it. But on the other hand, it's like they're just trying to say, okay, we're going to tear it down. You guys are going to forget all about it. Okay, let's go. Move on.
Yeah, because the government doesn't want anybody to remember it. They don't want that evidence for anybody to see because they're so ashamed of it. And they know that what they did was wrong and that it was an act of genocide. And it was killing the souls and spirit of our people, one by one, for generations and generations. And of course they don't want anybody to see it. And they think that if that building's gone and they can't see it, they won't be able to remember it. And 100 years down the road, that evidence will be gone, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
They've managed to ruin a lot of lives. I lived on the second floor there, and there were a bunch of other little girls living in the same dorm. They called them dorms, and they had these beds all lined up in there. And I wanted to hit one of those windows really hard.
Yeah.
But I did hit the building.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Thank you.
You bet.
To that door, and close that door.
What are we going to celebrate? When we see overcrowded housing, when we see high youth suicide rates, when we see high incarceration rates, when we see all these negative stats, diabetes, tuberculosis coming back, all these negative things, the exploitation of our lands and resources, what are we going to celebrate? And then it came to me, it was this: we will celebrate that after all these hundreds and hundreds of years of colonization and oppression, that we're still here. That's what we'll celebrate. We're going to celebrate that we're still here as indigenous nations, indigenous peoples, with that inherent right to self-determination, because we have our own lands, our own languages, our own laws, our own identifiable customs, forms of government, our own peoples. The inherent right to self-determination. So we will celebrate that we've survived. That's what we celebrate. That's what we're going to hold our hands up to and celebrate. We're still here. And we're more now than just survivors of residential schools. We're going to be thrivers. We're going to be thrivers. And that's how we're going to keep building, getting stronger. That circle's going to get stronger, free from alcohol and drugs. Because that's the way we're going to rebuild our nations.
It's the things we don't talk about that will hurt us the most. We need to laugh and sing and dance. We need to create a new future, carve a future for our future generations. We need to be proud of who we are and comfortable in our own skin. Yes, it was our turn to cry, and now it's our turn to move forward.
I'm so proud of you.
Little big crazy hat. Little big crazy hat.
I'd like to take this moment to introduce to you and tell you a bit about the artist whose work is featured on our posters this cycle, these last few months. The artist's name is Paquette, a descendant of Cree and Cherokee. He is an artist, writer, goldsmith, and a politician based in Edmonton, Alberta, where he was elected to the Edmonton City Council in 2017. Aaron has created numerous public art murals, including at Edmonton's Grandin LRT station. His paintings can be viewed at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, many local schools, art galleries, and other public venues. Aaron also made several images used in the Idle No More movement. Aaron works with acrylic, stained glass, and goldsmithing to express themes related to nature and our relationship with Earth. His art, in its bright colors and beautiful shapes, is philosophical, historic, and influential. As well, Aaron is the author of Light Finder, his debut young adult fantasy novel that won him the Burt Award for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit literature in 2015. We're grateful to Aaron Paquette for allowing us to use his art on our posters for the 18th season of Surrey Muse. Please view them all at surreymuse.wordpress.com/posters. Hello again. I am your host, Mariam Zohra D. You are still watching Surrey Muse, our 6th virtual gathering. We've just finished listening to our featured presenters, author Nathan Adler, poet Franz, and performer Gnargi O'Sullivan. And now we are going to have our open mic lineup, which begins with Jacqueline Treiber Wilcox, who is a writer and poet originally from Calgary, Alberta. She is a graduate of the Writers Studio Certification Program at SFU. Her poems have appeared in Line and Lens and Emerge 19. She is a former dancer and current somatic healer. Her work is decidedly feminine and ruthless in its quest to find truth and beauty in the dark corners of the human experience. She makes her home with her husband and 2 children on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, Squamish, Stolo, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam nations.
Hello, this is a non-fiction piece called The Shared Meal. I set out to prepare dinner for myself one evening. With my 2 kids out of the house for the night, I only had one mouth to feed and the choices were endless. I decided to make myself a sandwich. Opened the freezer where we kept the bread from going stale, slid 2 brown slices into the toaster. Evenings alone when you have small children are a rare and cherished thing. Sadly, I was not a morning person, despite having 2 children who do not care about this fact. So the time I usually felt the most clear and creative were now filled with dinner and dishes, homework and bath times. It was a challenge to pull 2 uninterrupted thoughts together, and I missed it. The space to just be with my mind. I found the cheese and tomatoes that I treated myself to from the farmer's market. Orbs of heirloom gold with reddish purple skins, and the cheese, my favorite, named after a local island. I peered into the fridge for other toppings, but none cried out, so I drizzled the toast with olive oil, slid on the thin layers of tomatoes, dusted with a bit of salt, then pepper, then pressed the white soft cheese on top with its topping of toast. I sat down at the kitchen table. It was so quiet in the house as dusk fell, so still. It was almost eerie to have only my presence to consider in the fading light. Laundry was piled haphazardly in the corner by the machine, and I was content to let it stay that way. Upon taking my first bite, I registered the bread was hard and over-toasted, but it didn't bother me. And in that moment of revelation, I realized I'm no longer alone at the table. My mother was there with me. She was leaning against the counter, weight shifted to one denim-clad hip, her slender pale arm wrapped loosely around her belly, holding a sandwich of her own. I am a child again, watching her chew thoughtfully, shiny brown hair covered by the red bandana she wore for housework. She always made herself the same thing, tomatoes on toast. Not soft bread, toast. I didn't like either then, and as much as I tried to love tomatoes, I found they stuck in my mouth, grainy as sand, and slimy too. And toast. When you had a choice of cottony, white store-bought bread, how could you destroy it by making it hard, with edges that could cut your tongue and rub the roof of your mouth raw? It was an abomination. My mother had me when she turned 24, which is incidentally the same age I became a mother myself. She told me even though she and my father married at 19, they wanted to wait a bit before having kids. They wanted to enjoy being married for a little while, even though many of their friends chose otherwise. Her father died before I was born. A blessing, she said, because it meant we could grow up away from all that. All that being the alcohol and isolation that came from growing up in a small prairie town. It would have taken away your innocence, she had offered as an explanation when I would fantasize about living on a farm close to my grandmother. We seemed to orbit each other, intimate in a world with few inhabitants. I never thought of her as being separate from me, so when I noticed her eating quietly by herself, blue eyes gazing inward towards something I couldn't see, something told me to pay attention. Life was offering me something important that couldn't hold meaning for me just yet. Only now, in the space of my own kitchen, could it reveal its relevance to me. Only now, a mother myself, could I realize there was more to her than I would ever know. She was a universe unto herself. One side effect of motherhood is that one bright individual steps back and under to hold the needs of others up to the light. It may seem sometimes like they disappear altogether, and like any well cared for child, I took her completely for granted. Her unfathomable taste in sandwiches challenged that, brought her into focus like a butterfly wing under a magnifying glass. When I was 12 years old, my mother brought me to the local zoo. The pavement was icy and gray and loosely covered in gravel that crunched under my feet as we meandered by wolves and bears to the cougar who had been pacing a well-worn path into the hard ground of her cage. It was under the cloud-covered sky that my worldview shifted, and I was initiated into the complexity of a confusing adult world that I would try quickly to grow big enough to inhabit. My mother told me the story of her childhood, as much as she could that day. The father who drank too much and beat my grandmother, the abuse and the darkness of the night. I held my breath tight in my chest as I imagined her hiding in the closet of her farmhouse room, hands over her ears to dampen the noises below. I could hear my gentle grandmother's helpless pleas, feel her terror alone in the prairies where there was no one who would help her. The whole town knew about my grandfather. The good folks kept their distance and turned a blind eye when they saw him around town. Later, she would tell me the story of being 12 and packing her and my grandmother's suitcases to run away, how my grandmother refused to go, How could she leave when she had no way of supporting herself? So my little mother stood up to her towering father and told him to never hit my grandmother again. My mother quietly told me that because of this, she was anxious and depressed, dependent on prescription drugs to get her through the days and nights, and that she was seeking to help to get off of them. In this new world, she opened up her hands and I saw the scars lining them from holding on too tightly. She was alone and needed me to understand her, to help her. Now I was 12 years old and the mantle of caring for my mother fell on my shoulders. I could feel its invisible weight cover me completely until I disappeared. I became her confidant and counselor, friend and partner, as my father continued to see it as your mother's addiction and quietly turned back to his TV program. From that day on, I went with her to her meetings, reading historical fiction in the hospital cafeteria. I listened to her when she needed to talk. I lied for her when she messed it up and needed a cover. My mother taught me a lot of things by openly sharing herself with me. Through her actions, I learned to seek help when you need it, to admit mistakes, to face down the ugliest parts of myself, and above all, how much courage that takes. But alongside this, she also taught me to hold a mantle I was too young to hold, to stand in the role of husband or mother or friend instead of daughter. I learned to put myself second, neglect my own needs and desires until I would lose the ability to feel them all, at all. When I first gazed upon my newborn son, I remember vowing to his somber brown eyes that I would do my very best to lay down the mantle so he wouldn't take it on as I had and my mother before me. The mantle that represented what our mothers couldn't do for themselves. I wanted to find a way to be in the center of my own life so he could be in the center of his. I realized that with every turn of the wheel in our generational story, there is something that gets handed to us, a legacy of sorts. And like my mother before me, I yearned to show my children something different. I wanted so badly to hand them their freedom by being perfect, by not needing not anyone to save me. And yet, there are strengths hidden in the mantle of responsibility too. Life offers us the chance to succeed and fail according to what is intrinsic to us. My mother's dream was to never be in a financial situation where she couldn't leave for marriage. Mine was to have one I wouldn't want to leave. My children will have their own barriers to break, ones I can't imagine yet, because they belong to them. As I sit alone in my kitchen, I can see her so clearly, leaning against her counter, holding her sandwich, a meal prepared just for her, one that didn't depend on what anyone else in the house wanted or needed. A small action asserting her independence. I wonder if she had any idea where her determination would take her. Could she imagine the woman she would become? The one who would divorce her husband and find success in her career. A woman healthy, strong, and whole. I looked at my sandwich, the meal that connected me to her, and marvel at having made my own peace with both toast and tomatoes, and wonder what is growing in me, what seeds will come to fruition as hers have. There are 6 billion of us on the planet, eating, leaning, watching, sitting. I was just one more that night, my back to the window filled with the black sky, small and ordinary in the great swell of life. And she is one grain in an unfathomable multitude of sand that rises and returns to the one great ocean, hardly worth mentioning at all. But to me, in this echoed of time and remembered gesture, she's the whole earth, the whole sky, and I become that sea rising and falling again and again from her. As much as my heart cries to be able to step into the center of my own life and shine the way I yearn to be the woman I can only see out of the corner of my eye, I see her slouched, holding her sandwich, with all the mysteries of her beingness open before me.
Barkeep, give me a shot of the giggle juice. Keep it coming.
What's got your butter flying, stranger?
Mac, if I told you, you'd never believe me.
Got 2 ex-wives, 3 girlfriends, and several bartenders depending on me, so you know I'm trustworthy.
You see, Jack, I've been having these thoughts that have been keeping me up at night. Murderers give me the creeps. I just don't think murderers are very crackerjack. Listen here, it may not be the consensus, it may not be the way my mother raised me, but I think murderers are treacherous, nefarious, and if you'll pardon my French, highly out of order. Well, Dickie, it's been a gas, but I got a 23 skidoo. Ciao.
Barkeep, let me see one of those telephone machines. Operator, get me William Randolph Hearst, Senator Joe McCarthy, and the President of these United States. Got a suspected communist here, spreading hardline anti-murder attitudes that might infiltrate American schools. Why, at this rate, we could have an anti-fascist movement in this country by the year 2020. Yes, I'll hold.
colonially, ooh, ooh.